What's up, traders? Welcome to another new live stream here on the channel this week. We've got Andy Peters in the house, so glad to get him on. This guy is massive. We've got him doing the US30 / Dow market tonight, New York session. It's going to be hopefully every week that we'll be getting him on here. Really interested to see how he trades it. He's going to be using his broker Carbon Capital. There's a link below the video to that if you want to get access to it. And I hear the spreads on this particular market are awesome. So if you're looking to get tight spreads on the US30, then here you go. Carbon Capital's the way to go. Right now, folks, other things just before we jump in. I don't know if you saw the stream last night, but we had Rodrigo and Diego in from my sponsors, City Traders Imperium. These guys did some bank level trading and managed to get a 10-hour trade on the stream. So if you guys aren't watching all of these streams, then please, you've got to tune in, hit subscribe, hit like, click on that notifications bell, and don't miss these. All right, guys, enough from me. Let's get on with the show with Andy.
What's up, guys? Andy here. Can everybody hear me okay? Make sure everybody can hear me. Answer some questions on here. So basically what I do is New York session, new open for New York session is 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And I'll look at the charts right around probably 15 minutes to 10 minutes prior to market open, just to kind of get a sense of where volume is going to push. Unfortunately, today what we've got is we have been running sideways. So I was able to get into a smaller position, obviously before the live stream had started, but we're going to look for catching something into the New York session, how I manage those trades. So we've got Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitch, and Twitter. So any questions that you guys have, please feel free to drop them in here, and I'll answer them as I can. Got Giuseppe behind me back here. If you guys follow me on Instagram, then you obviously know who he is. If you don't follow me on Instagram, give me a follow. It is Real Andy Peters, RealAndyPeters. Watch out for the scammers. So I am the one with the blue check mark. Instagram following verified me on that. So interesting week that we've had with trading, obviously. It's been good. I'll go ahead and share my screen here. And that way we can just kind of walk through the week for what's taken place so far. All right. So let's see here. So you guys can see my screen good, obviously. So here's what we got. This was just a quick little entry I took about 30 minutes ago right here on this 1 30-minute candle. And all I was looking at, if you've been following me for a while, you've noticed I've used this thing called the dot system. It's a Lifeline template that's coded into Carbon Capital, which is the broker I use. And the entry, I just saw a rejection. We do a wick fill up here at the top. You see me do this with Cam before. So right up here on this wick fill, when you see this, you wait for a rejection, you take that trade. I was looking more of this right here. I ignore candles that fall flat like this. Anytime we've got 2 candle bodies that fall flat, and I'm marking it up, I will ignore this right there. No attention. So because of that, I just drew the trend line to catch this wick right here and then kind of the structure. And as soon as I had that 1 minute snap right there, I took the sell on that entry, which was obviously before the live stream started. We've still got a few more minutes for New York Open, so we'll just continue to watch this and then go from there. But when we look at the 30-minute, you can see we've been running sideways ever since the big fall yesterday. Which was roughly 41, about 20 hours now. We've kind of been in the sideways momentum. So not too shabby. I can show you the trades. I'll show my trade history on here. That way you guys can kind of see where the trades, where I took them. So this right here was the buy that we had entered here and then closed out here. Had a quick little scalp here. This was at $500 a pip into this range. And then I had another sell entry here. And then I had my TP set at this dot. So you can see I follow my rules pretty closely. Where this dot was is exactly where I closed this trade out. So you'll notice I've got this bottom trend here, which connects the dots. You got a 30-minute dot here on the swing low and a 30-minute dot swing low here. So I connect those dots to kind of give me direction to where this could go over here. So when we look at price currently, if we get down to this bottom trend line, that's where I'll shave off some of these profits up here. Currently, which actually, you know what we'll do? We'll go ahead and drag. Let me close my trade levels. I'm sorry, trade history out, and we'll see what this trade would be worth if it taps that bottom trend line. So currently, if we tap that bottom trend line, not a super big one, we'd be looking at about $8,500 trade. So, something fun for today. Obviously, I've got my entry protected. This is something I do. That way I'm protecting my capital. For those wondering, capital where I'm at. Account currently at equity is $1,587,000 on this one. The trade that we're in with US30 is 5,400. These are two swing trades that I'm currently holding. Shorting JPY and CAD JPY. I'm in a short for NJ and in a short for GU. This original short for GU was, I believe, 40 standards, and that's what I have left right now is 15. We'll look through here and see where my GU is. Yeah, so originally GU was 40 standards on here. So not too bad. So deposited the funds into this account on March 24th, kind of gave it a full month trade. And you can see we've had a few losses in here, nothing too crazy, but currently sitting at a profit of $398,000 in less than, well, no, we actually are a month this week. So not too shabby. What I'll be looking for though, we'll kind of just take another look at this and analyze it around the 920 area to see where we're at, and then see how we're going to react to this trend line down here on the bottom. That's our 30-minute trend line. And then, yeah, that's really it. So you guys be sure to like this video. If you like the content you're seeing, like it. Let YouTube know that you like what you're seeing here, and then shoot some questions in here. I'm seeing a lot of my guys from the Discord that I'm on. I'm also the owner of a company that I created called the Pip Connect, created about 3 years ago. And it's just a trading community where we trade anything. We talk about anything from crypto, NFTs, to the stock market, to the foreign exchange market. I do some live trading. We have a ton of fun. And Fridays are normally not my trading days. So I do take Mondays and Fridays off. However, talking to Cam, and he was like, what days would you like? And it's like, you know what? I don't trade on Mondays or Fridays. So let's do a Friday. And it puts me in an uncomfortable situation because I obviously don't like trading on Fridays because the moves are typically violent. They don't follow a really good structure till after the New York session by a few hours. And I have found that I lose more on Mondays and Fridays than any other day of the week via journaling. So I've been journaling for the entire time I've been trading, which I'm going on my 14th year of trading. I've journaled. So knowing that Mondays and Fridays are not good days for me, it puts me in an uncomfortable situation, which is what I like. That's always good for traders. So I love it. Got some questions coming in. So I heard you say that you shorted CAD-J. I did as well. Can you give an overall TP? I really don't have an overall TP for it. You can see here where I've got CAD-J. I entered it way back here. Was in some pretty nice profit into this area right there. But I'm just looking at more along the daily. So when we look at that daily chart, there's a lot of room here. So I'd love to take it down, shave some profits at about 100.071. And I'd love to ride this thing out to about right there, that 98.8 to about 99.1 would be ideal. I'd love that. Can you show the wick fill? Yeah, most definitely. So pull this up here. So even on a 30-minute, we can fill in anytime you get these dots. You can just fill in that wick. So even on this 30-minute, how we have a little dot down here in the bottom left-hand corner, you can't see it too great, but we can do this right here. And then that gives us another area of support. So where these bottom, swing lows are, that means that's where price rejected that area and then shot up. Swing high means it was rejected and shot down. So these boxes here, when you fill them in, kind of give you an area of where your entry is going to be. And it's also your stop loss. So let's rewind back and look at yesterday's fallout. So I had a lot of questions, which I did post it on my YouTube channel. If you just go to YouTube and type in Andy Peters, it's going to show you my video from yesterday that I made, which was really, really cool because we hit TP on the live. And it wasn't a super big trade. It was like $28,000 and some change. Could have been a much larger trade if I wouldn't have closed out my $500 per pip up here. But the profit was too good for the trade went 15 minutes. And it turned out to be like a $16,000 trade. So I have no issue with that. So when we see this swing high on this 30-minute, we can take and fill that in. So you'll go from the dot to the bottom of the body. And all we're looking for is rejections. So as we're seeing this 30-minute reject, it's almost like we're painting a bull flag, because that's what a lot of people were talking about on Instagram. Some people were even talking about on YouTube was, Andy, you're painting a bull flag. We're going to buy up. And that's what the market obviously wanted you to see, because that is a very pretty bull flag. So the bull flag would have had to look something like this right there, because obviously we're going to ignore this. Those are the flat candles I was telling you about. These do fall semi-flat, but we do have a little bit of structure falling down. And then you've got your base of the bull candle, bull flag, which you can do something like that. Some people use the bodies, depending on what type of mood I'm in is what I use. So as you see this, you can kind of see the flag. There's the flag pole. There's the flag itself. So the way I looked at this trade was, if we can break out of this flag bottom, I'm going to take a trade somewhere down in this area. And I think I entered the trade right here on the top of that candle, and then rode it all the way down to about right there. So solid trade. Fun times. But that's it. That's how I do the wick fills. And you can, if you were holding it out, and I said this yesterday on my video, YouTube video, if you're holding out for this bottom swing low, which you can see is that same area when we fill that wick in, that was your TP. So slam down, bam, there's your TP. And look, that wick fill, reject. It's literally rejecting in that wick fill, to the point that this last massive wick that we got right here on this 30-minute candle, that was the one from 8:30 to 9 o'clock. Look at where the wick went to. It went to the very top of that wick fill zone and then slammed down. So this will be an area that we're going to watch today. I'm going to go ahead and remove that one right there. So we will watch this right here. And then we've got this bottom one. So we're basically playing inside this zone on the 30-minute just to see what we can catch. Go back to the 1 minute here. And let's see, answer some questions here. So this question here, how do I join your private community? By Leo. So Leo, private community, if you go to www.thepipconnect.com, you'll see a Discord link up there where it says private community. And we offer all kinds of, NFT projects. We trade live Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We've got a guy Cody, who trades London session, does a lot of markups there. I throw up markups from time to time on pairs. And what's really cool that we do a little differently is we throw up templates. So whenever I mark up a pair, I don't typically just mark it up on TradingView and then leave it up for TradingView. I actually do my markup on MT5 and download that as a template. And that way, when I share it with you, you can upload my template to your computer. So you see my zones, you see my trend line breaks, you see everything that I see on my computer, on your computer. So it gives you a really clear sense of direction instead of having to guess, where that trend line is or guess where that zone is. It's literally what I'm seeing on my screen is exactly what you're going to see on yours. Zane says, I need 12K to pass my funded challenge. I love it. And congrats on your funded challenge, man. Get that thing passed and make the money. Will your entries on breaks of trend line or dots or break and close back and retest? I'm going to see what we get around, because right now, here's the downside to where we're at today. There's not much structure on this 30-minute that we can hit. Normally, we've got a really clean break. For example, we've got a nice dot to dot like this that we can throw up, where we get a break, retest, slams down. We typically have something on the 30-minute that gives us a nice, sense of direction. And right now with this consolidation area, this whole area right here has been consolidating for 30 minutes. So, 30-minute candles. So we're just going to wait and see what we get. We got 15 more minutes and I'll start trying to find an entry. So what I end up doing is, once I find my entry points for buys and sell zones, I'll typically trade those with a sell stop and a buy stop. Reason being for that is you can't typically click the button fast enough when volume's moving. So I like to just set them, find the zones and say, hey, if price hits it, I'm in the trade. We'll see what happens. If it hits the trade and hits stop loss and knocks me out, then we move on to the next day. On days like this, well, I shouldn't say days, weeks like this, it's been a solid week. I've not even done the math. But if we just look at our date and time here for this week, we started on 5. So yeah, I mean, just closing out this week right here. I mean, you're talking a 30. It's been about a $200,000 week and some change. I would guess on that. Actually, you know what? I can do my history and just look at week. Let's see, custom period, and let's see. Let's do the last 3 days. So yeah, I mean, last 3 days have been $125,000 worth of profit. So, I mean, I'm not mad about that. So the way that I trade with my equity is knowing that I've got, $125,000 up for the week. I'll look at that instead of my balance itself. So I'm not taking trades off my capital. I like to trade off my equity. That way I'm never chipping into my original capital that I'm trading with. So I've been at $125,000 positive this week. We'll be a little bit risky. It's Friday. We'll risk 10%. So, we can go $12,500 on a loss. So whatever trade we get into, we'll go in and mark up that stop loss and say $12,500, cut the trade off, and just go from there. I love it. Let's see these questions. Do you tell your students or members where you're taking your entries and exit? Yeah, I mean, they see it on my screen. So when I trade live on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, and keep in mind, I don't trade every single day. There's some weeks I may only trade 1 day a week. They're watching those trades happen live, as well as where I have my TP set, my stop losses. And then on days that I'm not trading, I still provide a template. And in that template, I give a direction of where entry would be, where stop losses would be, and or TPs in those. I just trade break and retest on GJ. Nice and simple plan. Yes, Roy, that is a great plan. The glasses guy, that's my buddy Matt. He said, morning I sleep in, have to miss market open to get to the shop. Yeah, we've had a good week so far. I love it. Andy, is US30 and US100 in tandem? I've not looked at NAS. I mean, obviously it is consolidating on the 30-minute as well. Had a nice break up, downward. So, yeah, it's actually trading, pretty close to US30. Was the current entry based off breakout from the trend line? So, yeah, current entry here was based on this 1 minute wick fill that we had up here. And then I had a trend line that came through that, and there was my entry right there. I always enter on candle when I'm trading on a Monday or Friday, because those are the days I typically lose them. I enter on candle close. So as soon as it broke and that candle closed and opened up a new candle right there, I clicked sell. Can't wait to see you, Leo. Can you pass my FTMO challenges? Absolutely not. I always tell people, if you can't pass a challenge, you're going to blow the challenge. That's kind of always been what I've seen, because I've seen people, pay other people to pass their challenges and then hand the challenge off to them, because they're like, if the challenge is passed, it's going to be easier for me to maintain it and easier for me to make the money. And 9 times out of 10, it's not. So you've got this, Keith. You've got it. So 919. Let's go ahead and clear this chart here, and let's see what we can get. So 30-minute. So what we're going to look at here is a 30-minute break of this zone right here. So we'll trade at So I'm going to say, I typically, where are we at for price? Yeah, it's a solid run. So we'd like to hit the bottom of this zone. So I'm going to put it right about there. Not ideal, because normally we have a little bit more structure. The reason I'm placing it here is if price slams down, it's going to reject somewhere in this gray area, okay? If it rejects right here, that gives me enough time to protect that entry, which is 70 pips. So that's $3,500 that I can, close half and or protect. And then if it breaks and slams down, we're solid. The only other wick fill that we have, which I don't like a lot, because normally I like a wick being in this area, but we pushed down so hard that this top wick is what we have right here. So as you can see, that's a lot of space to make up. So we have a swing low right here. So we're going to use that swing low right there and do this number. So then what we would do is we would take and to a buy stop, and we'd put a buy stop right into this zone right here. Now, I wouldn't place it here. I like giving it a little bit of breathing room. So that gives us about 20 to 35 pips, right? Let's see here. From the tops of those, it gives, right at 25-ish pips, so not a lot. But then if we do a wick into this area again, that gives us another 70 pip profit there. And from here to bottom is a 70 pip profit there. So nice. So this is basically the zones we'll work with. Normally we're working with much tighter zones because when we take that to the 1 minute, we can see that there's a lot of gap in between here. I don't want to put anything close to this because this is profitable at the moment. So if it comes up, knocks us out at break even, and then decides to slam down here, we'll see where that goes. And then if the market opens and it slams down out of this bottom area, then we're good to go. And that should put us 20 pips below our last swing low in the 1 minute. So we'll see what happens. So Andy, do you have a buy limit in the gray zone? Yes, so I do have a buy stop and a sell stop. I'm not using any limits today. If we were in the process of being in this massive fallout right here, ideally your buy limit would have been in this last swing low here, which would have triggered itself. You would have been in drawdown a little bit, and you would have had profit on these two a little bit. So that'd have been a tough one. It didn't reject as good as we wanted it to. So we got 8 minutes before. And let's see here. Check the comments. Leave those put up here so I can see you guys. You guys don't forget, if you are not part of Trading Nut, to like this video and subscribe to this channel. For those asking about the dot indicator, it is free. It's free on Carbon Capital. So if you go to Carbon Capital, the broker, and create an account, go into the back office, you'll look at helpful videos. Click on that, scroll down to the very bottom, and you'll see EA, download, and templates. And in there, you'll find you'll actually find trading software, which is it's trade management software. I'll show it to you here on my screen. Give me 1 second here, and I'll pull that up for you guys. So if you see over here where we have these advisors, this market masters, if I drag that onto my chart, you'll see what it brings up. This is trade management software, okay? So you're able to have this software send you a signal, or it can take your trade. You can trade off a trend line. That's something that a lot of people like. So if you set a trend line and you label that trend line buy, the software is going to take a buy off your trend line. If you label the software sell, it's going to take a sell off your trend line. You can choose to take candle close and or candle open. And then this is where it gets really cool because it becomes hands-free. This is your trade management through here. You can set your take profits and your stop losses. You can set your default stop losses. You can use your default stop loss for current day, previous day, and or weekly. You can protect your pips. So once it takes the trade, you can say that I want to protect pips at say 25 pips. I want to at least protect 10. So as soon as price hits 25 pips, it'll automatically move your stop loss at break even. It's got your lot sizes. So you can enter this as, say you want to trade 5 standards. Cool, trade 5 standards. If you want to utilize risk, then you have to turn that to 0, and you can use like 5 lots. If you don't want to, then you can say I want to risk 1% of my account for this trade, and then you can put in 10% here. So like 10% max balance means if your entire account goes 10% in drawdown, then it'll close every single trade, profitable trades and losing trades. So this is a full-blown trade management software that Carbon Capital actually gives you for free. So as long as you're trading on their broker, they're continue to roll out stuff like this to make it easier for the trader to be profitable, which is clear signs of a good broker, obviously, because let's be honest, most brokers don't want their traders to be profitable. So let's see here. Look through the questions. We've already answered all that. So yeah, man, we got 5 minutes until market open. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so we've got the sell stops down here at the bottom at 32,768, which I currently, for those joining, I currently am in profit at the moment. So I've got a little bit of wiggle room here for that one. These three trades here are swing trades of mine that I'm holding out for. Plus, I mean, overall profit's what I look at. So this is something else too that I think a lot of traders get sidetracked by. They'll see some of these negative numbers and they don't like it, or and or it scares them. But I always look at total profit. So like in these trades here, I'm at $117,000 of profit in I would say that bounced around from around 125-ish to 128-ish earlier, so down a little bit. Once that gets to around 105 or 100,000 across the board, I'll go ahead and close it out and lock it in, because I mean we're setting that a really nice equity amount here. So this broker is an unregulated broker. Good morning. How do you think this market is going to go today? I have no idea. So I react to the market. I never try to predict. I react to just what's in front of me. Since you trade live with your members from Tuesday to Thursday, I think it would be ideal for me to join. And like I said, Leo, keep in mind, I don't trade every single day. Those are the days I like to trade. With like the FX Summit coming up next week, I won't be on the charts hardly at all, but I'll still be giving out my templates. So I'll still be giving out the template for you to load on your MT5 and see, where we're looking for the market to go and where we're looking to take advantage of that market, and then how we'll react to those zones. And obviously after the FX Summit, I'll be back home ready to rock and roll. Got 2 minutes here. EU, I'll look at EU here in just a second, as we only got 2 minutes left before market open. I don't want to jump into anything else and then market open hit. How does making a large withdrawal work from unregulated brokers? I've made withdrawals whenever anything over 5K. Yeah, great. Again, if you follow me on Instagram, I've shown $200,000, $300,000 withdrawals so far this year. I've withdrawn a lot. Typically have it approved. They're really fast approvals. I think the longest I've ever waited for a withdrawal from them was maybe 4 to 6 hours. And I mean, it doesn't matter the amount. I think the last one was like $301,000, and it was in a matter of minutes. I think that one was quick. It was like 35 minutes. Withdrawal was approved. Obviously withdrew in Bitcoin, and then the Bitcoin it took transfer maybe about an hour, if that. So not bad at all. I actually did a whole YouTube video on it because people were asking about how long it would take for that withdrawal. Strategy is just reacting to the market. I trade trendline breaks and zone breaks, and whenever those breaks happen, that's what I do. I don't have I'm not a big like RSI, MACD, Fibonacci guy. I use these dots. I fill in the wicks. I use them as anchor points for trend lines, and that's all I roll with. So zoom out here for a second. So this is that dot to dot here on the 30-minute. So we will do that right there. Then jump down to 1 minute, and that will give us, just looking a little juicy there. We're going to watch this trend line right here, though, very cautiously as we get into that. So there's a swing low. Boy, look how close that was. I should come up with like really cool background music. I feel like it's very quiet. My Cam normally has this cool music playing in the background, but I didn't want to oversteer my voice or anything. And I don't think there's any more news. Is there any more news today? I think the last of the news was this morning when they released everything, which all the numbers looked good. They wasn't too bad. So first position right now, it's currently 65,000, 6,000 in profit. We're at 117. We're at 122 right now. So if we can get a nice little move here. This is the boring part of trading. I hear my son and daughter upstairs playing. Got 2 kids awake and 1 kid that is still passed out. Yeah, I was hoping Cam could join us on this one, but it is late. It's like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning now where he's at. So he had to dip off and get some sleep. But I love doing anything with Cam. He's a good guy. Where's that? 7 that. Always double check that. So that shows me 247. All right. So anytime I'm trading, you always want to leave a little bit of space whenever you're protecting at break even. A lot of people protect break even like this. If you do that, sometimes if price runs up through there really hard like this, you'll have slippage and you will not close out in profit. So always give yourself a little bit of wiggle room there. For those asking about downside targets, there's not much that we can really see on the 30 except for this zone here. And then we do have this wick zone. So if we were looking at the base of these candles here, it would look something like that from the downside, which would be your 32,560. If we break out of this trend line of that zone and head down like so, like that, that's what it'd look like. Upside on it would be anything out of this zone here to right there. Looks like we're about to get tagged. Yep, we just got tagged. See what happens. This is that trend line right here we've got to be very cautious of. They said shout out to the guy behind you. So right now, if you don't have positive equity, this is a good place to shave a little bit of profits right there and protect. I'm not worried about protecting this entry as I've got positive equity up here. But that's something I always preach is, be sure you're protecting and or you have your stop loss set up. Stop loss for this current trade that I'd be, depending on your risk, if you're trying to save a ton of capital, I would look somewhere in this body line here to the top of these wicks. So it looks something like that. That puts you out of that consolidation zone. If you are trading the swing highs, which is what I do, then stop loss would be right there for that trade. So put it up there. Puts me at about 15,000 on that one. That way I stay within my risk parameters. I have this trade here that knocked me out of break even. And now we sit back and wait. Doing pretty good. Let's see if I've answered all those questions. Yeah, the guy behind me, Giuseppe, he's a G. He probably just dropped 100 standards on US30 back there. You'll hear him sniffling. He's we're in Tennessee, so he's having to deal with a lot of allergies at the moment that's eating him up. So what we'll do too, while we're looking at this, we know that this area down here is a solid one. So we've already got our stop losses. Let's go ahead and throw our TPs on there. I'm going to give it a little bit of room before that. So TP would be like that. And then TP would be like that right there. Once the withdrawals accepted and transferred to get to your personal bank account, is that a hassle? None at all. None at all. It is not a hassle one bit. Let's see here. I can go ahead and remove. I'm removing my buy stop at this point because we're in sells. I'm going to lean towards sells at the moment. It is what it is. If things don't go out as planned, I'm not going to be mad about it. So currently we're at 117,000 profit when the market opened. We're at 139 now. We've got a 5,000, 13,000, a 421, a 130 on the GU. So we're up 117, 27, 30. So we're up $23,000 since market opened with our TP down here right above that 32,560 area. Are you looking for shorting? Yes, Dennis, that we are currently in shorts at the moment. So being this far down in profit, this is where I go ahead and protect. So I do this number here and then put it in front of it. That way I cannot lose a single trade from today. So I tell people I would rather at this point now get knocked out at break even than lose capital. This is the 1 minute time frame. So if something were to happen or we were to get a massive push like that, I cannot lose any capital. I'm still sitting where I am now, which is always solid. So let's see if we can get we have pushed outside that gray box, which is nice. You guys are in profit, so take advantage of that. We don't want you to lose this trade at all. You're currently in profit at 90 pips with a max of 139 pips. So again, be sure you're shaving some profits here and protecting that entry. There's no reason to lose capital trying to hold on to a trade because again, I like to always be cautious in these markets, especially with the situations we're in and news. You never know what can throw up a 200 pip candle out of nowhere. Congrats, bro. He said, just like that, passed another funded in 2 days. I love it. All we need is a nice little push down out of that zone. That'd be a great way to end Friday. What is your theory or outlook on loading up on these situations? I mean, I typically don't load up a ton unless it's market gap. Meaning whenever you've got a market changeover, I'll typically load it up to fill that gap. And that's really it on trades on the daily basis. I stay pretty low key. $50 a pip for, a 7-figure account is extremely, extremely under leveraged. I don't like over leveraging, never have. It's something I've tried to explain to people from day one. It's like you can be a really good trader and not over leverage and make money. Yes, it's going to take you time. Yes, it's going to be frustrating. It's going to be frustrating when you see everyone else posting these big wins and all this stuff, and you're taking smaller wins. But those smaller wins add up so quickly over time. Can you please break down this entry one more time, please? Yeah, most definitely. So this first entry was just taken on a trend line break that we had from the 1 minute coming over, and we had a candle close below it. This entry here was taken knowing that we had a wick fill, which was way over here on the 30 minute. And having that wick fill, this gave us a break zone. I wanted to have an entry before the break zone. In the event that it did break, which it did, then we were in it way up here and we wasn't in it down here. So where a lot of people make mistakes is they want to take their entries outside of a wick zone, meaning, or outside of a zone in general, which is like right here. The issue with taking the trades outside of them is you're always going to get a retest coming up to hit that zone. And if you're like me and you want to protect capital and protect that entry, that means you're wicked out right here. You're wicked out right there. You can get this candle to come up and wick you out here. And when you get those wicks that are wicking you out, then you're losing the trade, or you're trying to get back into the trade, or you're setting your stop loss way up here, and then you get wicked out, this thing pushes up and you lose the trade. So by entering it before the break of the zone, it's allowing you to get in early. It is a high risk because when you hit this trade, it could have went down here to this zone and then shot straight up like this. But what I found more, I'd say out of 10 trades, about 7 to 8 trades, you're at least going to, if you're going to push into that zone, you're going to at least go to the bottom of that zone and or break it. So when you do that, it allows you to protect and shave. So it being Friday and us just having fun, I'm not shaving profits here. I've made a decent amount this week to not worry about shaving profits on these trades, more or less waiting for TP. And then if TP comes down and we get in this area and it slams back up, we didn't lose capital. So that's why I preach, protect your entries, shave your partials. So like for you guys on this live right now, y'all are up 131 pips right now with a max of 154. It's a perfect time to shave profits. At $10 a pip, you just put $750 in your bank account. At $50 a pip, I mean, just from where we just said shave, from there, I mean, you're talking about a $5,000, $6,000 trade. So again, perfect area to shave those profits. Let's see here. May I know the TP figure, please? I can't see it on a hand phone. Yeah, so I've got TP set just a tad bit above 32,560, which is right here. So 30, let's see. Yeah, so we got TP 32,569 in that area is where I got mine. Yep, so like this right here would be a wick fill for another zone. So you could take that swing low. On the 1 minute, it's really hard to do this with it. I'll look at the 30-minute, but you just do that right there and fill the base of that to the wick to the base of the candle right there. Let's see here. 13 minutes in the market open. I want to reiterate, it's a good day. It's US 30, can act crazy. And let's see what the markets are going to give us. We're setting nice in profit right now. You guys should be setting really nice on the other end. So be sure you are protected and taking partials. Even if you're not, and I do this like yesterday's trade. Yesterday's trade would turn out to be almost a $62,000 to $65,000 trade if I'd not shaved partials. But it's something that my rules are when I'm trading during those times. Being Friday, I personally won't shave partials on Friday because typically I lose on Fridays. When you enter a trade, what is your average risk to reward ratio per trade? I don't have one. I don't trade the whole 1-to-1, R to R, anything like that. I just get in the trade. I see the setups. I look at zones where we could bounce and or have a really nice TP that's not too, far-fetched, and I just take the trade. That's it. US 30 is still a bit too volatile for me, but I'm currently up $3,800 on the NAS. Congrats. That's what's up. Hey, here's the thing. Profit's profit. I don't care if people are trading, CADJ, UJ, the US30. Like it is, if you're in this market and you're making money and you're perfecting your craft, that's what matters. Because at the end of the day, that's why we trade. We trade for fun because I think it's fun, but you don't meet many people that say, you know what, I just freaking love trading. I don't care if I make money or not. I'm just going to trade. If that was the case, then everyone would be trading just a demo account. So my buddy A. Bertram here says, time to go enjoy the day, folks. Thanks for the blues, Andy. And as Giuseppe in the back always says, close your computer and enjoy the day. So that's something that I live by, is when you get into these trades and you've already won the trade, you're done for the day, then guess what? Close the computer and walk away. The longer you sit at this computer, the more money the market is going to take from you and milk from you, because it's going to make you think you see things. You're like, oh man, this thing's been falling all day. It has to continue to fall. And all of a sudden you get into a sell and then it just spikes all the way up. Or you're in buys and it does the opposite of that. So just get your wins, get away from the computer and be done with it. Do you guys do these lives daily? I don't. I trade live with my private Discord group. The only days that I look to trade live is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but it doesn't always mean I will trade live on those days. Some weeks I may trade only one day, but I still give my markups. I still give my analysis of where I want where I want the market to go. I tell people I try not to predict because we can wind up in a bad situation. And there we guys go. TP hit on the first live here with Trading Nut. So yeah, there we go, guys. Not a bad trade at all. Let's see where we ended up for the day here. We just closed out And we had this was the trade I took before market open, but the trade I just took with you guys was a $9,941 trade, which means if you were trading with the exact same lot size as me, you just made $9,900. If you were trading at a point, say one, so $10 a pip, you made close to about probably 2,000-ish and some change. So let's go ahead and measure this one out. We had, just for fun here, if you guys did not run a TP and you're still in this trade, please be sure to protect that entry and move your stop loss down so you don't lose any more. Let's see, trade history. So we had the first trade. We entered it right here, and we closed out right there. So 200 pip trade, which isn't terrible. If you were still holding that trade and you didn't want to run a TP, you're set at 241 pips. So not a bad day at all. So again, for those asking, we are currently, with closed trades, we're currently up $128,000 in equity, but our history on here was $26,000. And that's it. That's how Andy Peters trades. And so we just knocked out on the first live with you guys. I told Cam that I'd be willing to jump on here on Fridays and trade live with you all and see what we can catch. All that I ask for out of everyone here is like the video, subscribe to Cam's channel. Be sure to go, if you're on Instagram, Real Andy Peters, give me a tag, throw me out something. I wanted to have fun with you guys, and we just caught a 200 pip trade live all together, hit TP, beautiful trade. Guys, this is what I live for right here. And this is what we do. And again, you see that it's one thing that I've taken pride on in myself is where we show transparency. I'm not trying to hide, something on a screen. I'm not trying to trade on, a demo account and then tell you, oh, this is what I do on my live account. I'm not trying to trade on TradingView, but then tell you I'm taking positions on my phone. I'm trading on my account right here in front of me. I've showed you guys the history. I've showed you guys the current trades I'm in. I currently have some losses right now. Not too worried about them, but I got them. That's where we're at, and we're rocking and rolling. So that's about it. But private Discord group that I trade on, you can join that by going to www.thepipconnect.com and clicking private Discord, having fun with us. And like I said, we do more than just Forex. That's the thing. We do crypto, we do NFTs, we do the stock market. We've got roughly in the paid private community right now, we've got like 400 something members. So we got a really great community there. We've got a lot of projects too that come to if you're a crypto guy, got a lot of projects that come to us firsthand for our community. As you guys know, I'm involved in the crypto space. If you've not seen that video, it's a great video to watch with Cam, where we talk about crypto and whatnot. So yeah, that's about it. And let's see, Adrian, I want to read this out, show you guys here what we have. Adrian says, yesterday account has 100, now at 400 with 2 days trading with you. Man, congratulations to you, brother. That's a big one. Freaking love it, love it, love it. And yeah, I appreciate you guys being on here. What an amazing day. As you can see, once trade has hit our TP, it's come back up. So we did miss out on a little bit here, but this is something I don't like people to think about. Like we closed right here, and you'll have people say, God, we missed out on 69 more pips. Well, that's like me looking back at yesterday. I look back at yesterday, had I kept this position open and left a runner, from here to where we're currently at on price, that's a $1,300 trade. My runner would have been $25. So, that'd have been a really good trade, but I wanted to get out. I wanted to set my TP in a nice zone. I closed out. I didn't go back to the computer and measure this out and like, man, that's 68 pips. Is that 689 pips? Well, that's 300 pips. Because if that's the case, we can look at the daily. And obviously, I just opened this account up right here. But I've been trading for years. So I could have been like, man, why didn't I hold my runner down here and measure that? God, that'd have been 14,000 pips. You can't think like that in this market. You have to be in the moment, get in your trades, get out, get the money, and be done. So I love it. Yes, I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan, so let's rock and roll. I love it. Luca, which funded trading firm for indices do you suggest? As you guys know, Anthony Williams and Q Banks are my guys. So, I mean, I'm always going to tell people, top tier, only for the fact of I know that the team behind them is a good team. They're not out here to just disappear overnight. They do take care of their customers. They are paying out people. So, I mean, that's always a plus. So, I mean, I do like the top tier guys. They're a great group of people. So that's it, guys. It's a 9:51. So granted, we didn't start technically trading until 9:30 with you guys when the market opened. So 22 minutes into it, 200 pips. We made the money. We rocked out. Like I said, if you guys were trading with the same lot sizes of me, then congratulations. You had a 10K day almost. For those even trading $1 per pip, you just made $200, $10 per pip, 2K. So we killed it. But we'll see you guys next Friday. Well, actually, next Friday I'll be at the summit. So we'll see what we can work out with Cam. We may jump on here from the summit, have a guest with us or something like that. I don't know. We'll see where we're at. But give me a tag on Instagram. Let me know that you guys enjoyed this live, because that's how I'm doing these things. And that's what I told Cam. If the way that I give back is when people give back to me. When I see people, that are learning from this, when I see people gaining from this, when people are giving, feedback from it, and I know you guys are engaged with it, I'm going to continue doing this because I don't have to be on these lives. I don't have to do anything. I love trading by myself sometimes, but I want people to learn and I want people to succeed. So if I'm able to show you something that's going to help you out, if I'm able to show you something that's going to get you to the next level, I'm all for it. So give me that feedback. Hit me up on Instagram. It's real Andy Peters, the one with the blue check mark, not the fake ones. And man, let's just have fun with it. Anything that you guys tag me in, I'll share it. Let's get the juices flowing. Let's get people hyped for Friday. And you guys have an amazing, amazing weekend. And we'll see you next time. Y'all be good.